352 Texas high school football playoff games this weekend, and we are predicting every single one of them. These are the picks. Welcome into the Picks, your guide to Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here we are, the Texas high school football playoffs. There's nothing quite like this week in sports. 352 win or go home games scattered across the Lone Star State. And I wasn't kidding. I'm picking every single game this weekend. Now, my picks are scrolling down here at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you check out TexasFootball.com/playoffs for brackets, matchup information, bracket breakdowns, sleepers, everything you need for the Texas high school football playoffs. So, you ready? I'm ready. We start in Baytown. 7 o'clock Friday at Baytown Stallworth Stadium. It's a 5A Division II by-district clash between the Port Neches Groves Indians and the Crosby Cougars. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number one, star power, and there is plenty of it in this game. For Port Neches Groves, they got their outstanding quarterback, Rashawn Johnson. He can do it all. Just a junior, but he plays well beyond his years. He can beat you with his arm, he can beat you with his legs, he can beat you every which way. And on the other side, for Crosby, they've got Squirrel. They've got Craig Williams, the running back for the Cougars, and he is lightning in a bottle, one of the fastest players in the state. It's playoff time, so big players step up. Which of these stars shines brightest? Key number two, Crosby's defensive adjustments. So last week must have been a big wake-up call for the Code Red defense because they got absolutely torched by New Caney in their first loss of the year. They gave up 63 points, including 470 yards to dual-threat quarterback Jordan Cooper. New Caney was able to do everything they wanted to do offensively, and guess what? Maybe an even better dual-threat quarterback is coming to town this week in Rashawn Johnson. Crosby is going to have to make some changes defensively if they're going to get past this first-round matchup. Can they do it? And key number three, off the mat. Before last week, it was pretty much smooth sailing for both of these squads, both undefeated and cruising towards district championships and unbeaten regular seasons. And then week 11 happened, and it all kind of came crashing down. For Port Neches Groves, they lost to Nederland in their big rivalry matchup, Mid-County Madness, on a late score by the Bulldogs. And for Crosby, they got pretty much drubbed by New Caney in their final game of the regular season. So both these teams are coming off of their first loss of the year. Who responds better to this adversity? Who am I picking? I'm going with P&G. I think the Indians have a really special player in their quarterback, Rashawn Johnson, and I think he's going to be able to take advantage of a suddenly vulnerable Crosby defense. You know, Crosby's got a ton of speed, especially at the running game, and I think if their defense can make some adjustments, they can win this matchup. But for now, I think the Indians are too much. I think Port Neches Groves wins this one. Let's go to 4A Division I now. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Corsicana's Tiger Stadium. It's the Navasota Rattlers taking on the Henderson Lions. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number one, Henderson's turnover machine. So when Henderson wins, and they are 8-2 on the year, so they've won more often than not, it's been because they take the ball away defensively. They get a lot of turnovers, especially from their linebacker, Lynn Freeney. Can they take the ball away a couple times from this high-powered Navasota offense that doesn't tend to turn the ball over too much? So who wins out? Who wins the turnover margin? That's a big key here. Key number two, quarterback play. You're going to have two special quarterbacks in this matchup, and I think they're going to have a lot to say about who wins out in this by-district matchup. For Navasota, Jeb Malik is, I think, very underrated. This kid is pretty special. I think he could put on a show against this Henderson defense. And for Henderson, it's Trey Hall, the dual-threat kid from East Texas, is doing it again this year. Who comes up with the bigger game from the signal caller position? And key number three is winning close a skill. It sounds kind of weird, but consider this. Navasota does have 4 losses on the year, albeit to good teams, and they've come by a combined 12 points. They have played very close games, but when they get into close games, they've tended to lose them. You know, for Henderson, they haven't played a ton of close games. Only one game has been decided by 1 possession. So if this game is close, does Henderson have an advantage because they've won a close game, or is Navasota just due to win a close one? Who am I picking? I'm going with Henderson. In a close game like this, I tend to go with the team with the better defense, and I think that is the Lions in this case. Their quarterback, Trey Hall, has been spectacular, and I think their offensive line is actually going a little bit undernoticed. I think this is a pretty solid squad. Navasota is going to need a big game from their quarterback, Jeb Malik, and a couple of turnovers defensively to win it. But for now, I think Henderson takes home the victory. 7 o'clock Friday night at Hall Stadium in Missouri City. It's 6A Division I action as Fort Bend Ridgepoint takes on Katy Cinco Ranch. Two lights-out defenses in this matchup, but injuries may play a big factor here. The Keithy brothers, Blake and Brant for Cinco Ranch, are apparently both out for this game with relatively significant injuries. I think that gives Ridgepoint and their quarterback, Aaron Allen, everything they need. I think the Panthers take home the victory. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at the Palace in Round Rock. It's unbeaten Dripping Springs taking on Austin LBJ in 5A Division I action. This is a very dangerous LBJ offense led by their quarterback, Aaron Green. But for all we talk about this big Dripping Springs offense with quarterback Trevor Greenman, I think their defense has been just as good, if not better. That's what puts them over the top in this one. Give me Drip. Some Thursday night action, 7 o'clock Thursday night at Corpus Christi's Cabaniss Stadium as Raymondville takes on Senton. Two very good rushing offenses in this one. Tristan Canales leads the way for this Senton ground attack. But can they slow down Daniel Gutierrez and the Raymondville Bearcats attack? I think this is very close, but I think Raymondville has the defensive advantage. That's why the Bearcats get the win. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Driscoll Stadium in Crockett. It's 3A Division I action between Malakoff and Rockdale. And the big question here is, what was Malakoff's loss to Teague? Is that just a really good Teague team, or are there serious issues with this Malakoff team? I'll tell you, they need to be ready because Rockdale's Torrey Laughlin is coming, and he is a playmaker. I think Malakoff gets by in a close one, but keep an eye on this. I will take the Tigers. 4 o'clock Saturday at Kimbrough Stadium in Canyon. It's Stinnett West, Texas taking on Sundown. And I'll tell you, no rest for the weary for Sundown. A week after taking down previously unbeaten New Deal, they have to take on a very feisty Stinnett West, Texas team. That said, I think the Roughnecks quarterback Christian Huey guides them to a victory. And 7:30 p.m. Friday night in Eden, it's a 1A Division I clash between Zephyr and Medina. This is going to be a fantastic six-man matchup in the first round, a game that's probably worthy of being a lot farther down the line in the playoffs. The big matchup here is Medina, who's undefeated. Can they slow down Zephyr's Mason Rogers? That's the key. I think Zephyr takes home the win. But those are far from the only big games in the first round of the Texas high school football playoffs. Remember, I'm picking every single one of the games. It's scrolling down below. Let's get to the lightning round. In 6A Division I play, I think Allen beats Hebron. Give me Austin Bowie to get past Pflugerville-Hendrickson, and San Antonio O'Connor beats Schertz-Clemens. 6A Division II now, I think San Angelo Central takes down newcomer El Paso Pebble Hills, and Longview beats Beaumont Westbrook. Friendswood beats Pearland Dawson, and surging Weslaco East beats PSJA. 5A Division I now. Lubbock Coronado beats Canyon Randall. Give me Prosper to beat Frisco Wakeland, and Nederland gets past New Caney Porter. 5A Division II now. I like Saginaw Boswell to take down Denison. Give me Mansfield Legacy to beat the Elks of Burleson, and Victoria West takes down San Antonio Memorial. In 4A Division I think Wichita Falls Hershey outguns Brownwood. Give me Dallas Carter to beat Mineral Wells, and Liberty Hill takes down Bernie. 4A Division II now. Monahans beats Denver City. Give me Pittsburgh to beat Rusk, and Mejia takes down Gonzales. 3A Division I now. Brock beats Clyde. Kemp beats Pottsboro, and George West beats Bishop. Let's go to 3A Division II now. I like Alpine to edge Toller, and give me Nocona to beat Leonard. West Rusk beats Corrigan Camden, and East Bernard takes down Johnson City. 2A Division I now. Mart beats Goldthwaite. Joaquin takes down Centerville, and Holland gets by Sabinal. Let's go to 2A Division II now. Roscoe takes down Farwell, and Ira Ann beats Cross Plains. Grapeland gets by Evadale in a close one, and Milano takes down D'Hanis. It's a tough opening round matchup for the defending 1A Division I state champions, but I think Borden County takes down Sterling City. And in 1A Division II, give me Calvert to beat Oakwood, and Petersburg gets by Amherst. And those are the picks. Believe it or not, I picked all 352 Texas high school football playoff games this weekend. If you missed your game on the scroll, the beauty of YouTube is you can just go and watch it again. So go ahead and do that. And then let me know, what am I wrong about? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/DaveCampbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/DaveCampbells. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com, especially TexasFootball.com/playoffs. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the first round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. We'll see ya.